On the PS3 I've never had many driving games. I got Need for Speed Shift on the first day and I was majorly disappointed. The game was too easy even on the harder difficulties, and it just seemed like they wanted to put all their previous work into a game with better graphics. It didn't work. I lost faith in the driving genre. Could anyone really replicate the best driving games from the PlayStation 1, like Colin McRae Rally? Time to take a brief look at the past. Suddenly there was hope. Colin McRae Dirt 1 came out and showed the amazing graphics and tweaked driving controls. There was hope for the driving genre on the PlayStation 3. The game felt realistic and the animation was some of the best I've seen in a long time. The driving captured the drifting on dirt tracks perfectly, but there was just something missing. There was a new feel to the driving from the Codemasters, but it just felt like another one of their previous games with upgraded graphics. There was a limited amount of track variety, and generally it kept to the rally courses, which is still what it should be, but there just wasn't enough diversity to keep me going. There wasn't a storyline to get me into it, and after the effect of the new graphics and shiny cars, I wasn't entertained. A year later, Race Driver Grid came out. As a different type of racer to Dirt, I thought this would be able to clench my driving first. However, the same problem came along. The game looked visually stunning and the gameplay was fun at first, but the tracks looked the same to me, and although they added new vehicles like F1 cars, it just wasn't enough for me. I had some great moments on Grid, but when it came down to playing it again, it just wasn't going to happen. But in 2009 something amazing happened. Colin McRae Dirt 2 arrived. Many people saw it and just assumed that it was the first one repainted and remodeled. They were wrong. So very wrong. This game is incredible. We'll start with the interface. You're in a mobile caravan touring the world and racing for fame and fortune. You have an agent that gives you some money to start off with. You then select what car you want out of the options. The game immediately throws you into the action and you start to love it. Everything looks polished. The people walking by actually look like people and not zombie-like drones. The sunlight and shades look realistic, and I actually feel like I'm in the desert track watching the races. You can see from the start they spent a lot of time on the interface, and although it's a small feature, the amount of times you go back to it, it really makes a difference. Maybe I'm being too picky saying they could have added a little bit more variety to the interface. In fact, I am. This game has such high standards I can't even think of what more they could have added. And that was just the interface. Gameplay is what we really want, and it delivers it well. From the interface you can choose what country to go to, which affects the racetrack and the weather. You really get into the game when you are racing around a muddy track with rain streaming down your screen. The driving just works. In every way you feel completely in control of your car. In games like Need for Speed Shift, the auto drive system basically does everything for you. Even if you turn off assistance, it's just not a challenge. But this game is bollocks. No, I've got it here, I just couldn't read it out right. I'll cut this bit and go back to it. But this game is a challenge to perfect. The driving is real, and with the right amount of acceleration and braking, you can do the most beautiful of drift. There's a retake system. Depending on your difficulty, you can take so many chances to replay your last 10 seconds of driving and prevent a crash or an overtake. I usually play on serious mode, so I get 3 chances to retake, which is really helpful because it can be
keep it on the
pain
road.
when you're in first with only the final stretch to go, and the last thing you know is your car flying down the edge of a cliff. That's not the end of the gameplay, but I feel like the graphics really need a say here. They are stunning. In the interface, everything looks so organic and full of life, and we're not even in the game yet. When you do get past choosing your track and vehicle, which depends on what race it is, the visuals are breathtaking. I have the liberty of seeing full 1080p graphics on this game, and the least I can say is, wow. It's a challenge in itself not to detach yourself from the concentrating on the driving, just to look at the environments, no matter where you are. The industrial England, the desert Morocco, which is my favourite track so far, and the drifting Japan. Everything just looks so real. Need for Speed Shift had pretty good graphics. This takes it to a new level. It has depth, it has bulk, everything a game needs. Compare these graphics to the likes of Killzone 2 and you're almost there. There are a lot of race types to choose from, but in the story mode it's not really your choice. You choose where to race, and the competition which is being held determines the type of race. You don't have to do every single race to progress though. You can earn money through doing the races, but it's your choice if you want to be able to buy the best car. The race types are Rally, Rallycross, Trailblazer, Raid and Land Rush. There are also some special modes which are Gatecrasher, Domination and
Dude, I
Last Man
can't
Standing.
believe it! You've
Although
qualified for the
last
X
three are
Games!
usually for split screen
Awesome!
or multiplayer. Every time you race, you get experience. As you level up, you unlock more cars or binaries, but they don't just give them to you like in other games. Also, as you race, you earn cash. Depending on your finishing position, you can then use this cash to purchase these vehicles and use them for their specific racetrack. For example, you use a Mitsubishi Lancer for rally driving. As you earn more experience, you unlock the real racing, the X Games. This is basically the biggest driving competition in the world, with the biggest faces and characters all driving for the same prize. It won't shock you if you don't come first every time though. The AI aren't pussies either. You hit them and they will tailspin you right in the back to the back of the queue. It can get you really competitive, with you coming first by literally milliseconds ahead. And is fantastic, but don't expect to just buy the game and instantly be able to race into pole position. This game takes practice, and you need to learn how to drive not only efficiently, but ruthlessly. There are many people online who will never be sitting there twiddling your thumbs. There's a ranked driving and an unranked called Jam Session. I will start out with the Jam Session so you can slowly ease into the game. There's only more to be said about this game, but I'd be giving away too much. I can't think of anything this game could have added more. The load times are good, averaging around 10 to 20 seconds depending on the actual map. They could have added a tutorial, I guess, but the game starts off simply and it gives you the controls on every occasion. Generally this game is perfectly made. In the hours I've spent playing it, I can't find anything wrong with it. I'm giving Dirt 2 an extremely well-deserved 9 out of 10. This game is visually captivating, and the gameplay is out of this world, but in all the excitement we forget it is a driving game. You can play this for hours and thoroughly enjoy it, but sometimes after some great races you just want something you can relax to. You need to concentrate to win races, and to not crash out and playing in the evening is not advised at all, unless you are one of the hardcore out there.